It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MedProject or visit medproject.org.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. What you know, Fruit Loop?
We're getting some snow. That's what I know.
I think I'm going to the beach house.
You crazy?
I ain't crazy.
We get snow once every 10 years.
Yep, and I'm going to the coast. All right. Well, we'll try to plow through. Give a quick shout out to our first sponsor, Too Cool T-Shirt Quilts. Go to toocooltshirtquilts.com/Pretty Lies and Alibis. Check them out. Get you a quilt. Get you a pillow. And what can they do, Fruit Loop?
They can take your T-shirts and make them into a quilt that is too cool.
Can I just say, I just got an update that they're saying there's going to be up to a foot of snow here.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's
out.
Go.
Bye. You go ahead and break your hip.
No, I'm going tomorrow to buy a sled. I will video it and put it on. No,
here's the thing. You're going to end up in the hospital in traction.
No.
Yes, you are. Oh, anyways, snow, go away. So real quick before we on day 5 with Chandler Halderson, the trial is on hold because Chandler tested positive for COVID-19. And the judge brought everybody in today except for Chandler and said the trial will resume next Tuesday at the earliest. And it could be later if anybody else in that courtroom tests positive. So they did offer to send home testing kits with the jurors to see if they have it. Who knows? So we're going to be out of commission with that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm currently doing a deep dive on this Harmony Montgomery case. We've been busy with a lot of other stuff and have kept up with it, but we haven't done an episode yet. So we're going to do that case next. The next episode, I think we're going to tackle Harmony Montgomery's case. Also, just want to mention, this is episode number 200 for us.
What?
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big number. I'm really proud. Cool. And we have almost 1 million downloads on Spreaker now.
Yep.
So moving on up.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We appreciate all y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So let's hop into day 5. Excuse me. This is the last day we had testimony in this case before they shut it down. And the first witness was Stephen Greiber. I believe I butchered that. He's a retired Grieber. Okay. He's a retired detective from Dane County District Attorney's Office, and he just happens to live across the street from the Haldersons. And on July 1st, he was outside in his front yard around 7 o'clock in the evening and noticed a strong smell of burning wood. He said 5 minutes later, the odor became distinct, and he thought someone was having a barbecue. He said the smell became very pungent. That's all he had to say. There was no cross.
Oh.
So we go, I know, it's just sad when you know what.
I ain't even going there. My mind immediately went to fried green tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's some good barbecue.
Secrets in the sauce.
Yeah.
So the next witness was Colin Lynch, who's a neighbor, and he lives directly behind the Haldersons. They have a pond that separates their properties, but he has like 18 security cameras at his house, and he has one that pointed to the back of the Halderson home. And then he was done. He was just setting this up, right? Foundation to come in and bring Deputy Scott Kuntz, who is a sheriff's deputy with Dane County, and he works with forensic video analysis. He had also been involved in the investigation in other areas, but this is his specialty. And he had looked over the video from the last witness surveillance. Now, just a little lead up to this, what they're going to do is look at the window that had the fireplace where he allegedly burned his parents' heads in. And they enhanced that video, and you can tell every single minute when that fire is out of control. Like it just, yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I watched 20 minutes of this and I was like, okay, how long are they going to let this sit?
Oh, they let it sit.
Yeah. It was just like a black screen with a little flicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the question for investigators was, where was that flickering light coming from? And it lasted off and on kind of throughout the night. I think around 3 or 4, it kind of stopped. But look, we're not going to get knee deep in this testimony because it's very technical. And there's a lot of talk about pixels and technical ways that he can break this photo apart to make his determinations. So they use reverse projection to determine the size, the position, the height of an object captured on video. And he concluded the flickering light was coming from the window where that was in the room where the fireplace was. And that was it. But that testimony took most of the morning, but I just gave you the Cliff Note version right there because it was technical. And I had smoke coming.
Legit, the timer that sat there and ran. I was like, oh my goodness. Hey, I'm just going to say this. His attorneys are getting paid bank and they ain't cross-examining nobody.
I don't know what they could say. I mean, this is just one of those cases where the forensic evidence, a lot of people said, how do you prove he did it? Okay, well, we're finding out now. But this is one of those cases that I don't know what they're gonna have. Nothing.
What you gotta say?
Well,
he's innocent.
It was the concussion. He was concussed. Yeah. No, the only thing that I've heard so far is when there was a cross-examination on the medical examiner, and we'll get to her in a minute. The cross-exam said, is there any way for you to tell if there were more than one shooter? And she said no. So I don't know if that is a little something. Are they maybe going to say there were 2 shooters? I don't know. But that's the only thing I've heard so far because they really haven't crossed many people.
Yeah. So the next witness was Bill Boswell, and he's a special agent. He's an arson expert. They show a photo of the fireplace, and he says there's an area at the top of the fireplace that shows bare metal and the missing pane of glass. I'm telling you, glass around a fireplace, normally it has a very high, even, like wood stove glass, stuff like that. Like that glass in there is made to withstand a lot of heat. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so you see soot on the stone, which isn't uncommon, but you see bubbling of the paint, and another area shows the bare metal. Obviously, when things are put around a fireplace, they're made to withstand a certain amount of heat that you would get off of burning wood. When he opened the fireplace and looked inside, he noticed the stones were discolored as well as discoloration of the grate. There was a greasy residue on the pull chain, which moves a metal plate at the top of the chimney to open and close it. Dude, I ain't gonna lie, my dad forgot to close our flue one time. It was dead winter. We freezing. We're like, why is it so cold in here? He had left it open. He said burning human remains can smell like pork being barbecued. He smelled that in the fireplace at the Halderson home. The bubbling of the paint came from flames leaving the fireplace. They removed the fireplace grate and looked at the date of the newspaper, and it was from June 23rd, 2021, and was listed to current resident of the Halderson home. They show several close-ups of the piece of bone in the middle of the logs. Well, They called a forensic anthropologist to the house to examine the bone fragments they found in the bottom of the fireplace. They show a picture of the basement. The ash trap led to there. There's an access leading to the ash container, and it was hard to get to. They had to remove the paneling on the wall to get to it. On the floor, you can see ash on the floor that had come out of the ash trap area. The existing hole to the ash trap was too small, so they had to make larger holes in the wall. They attached a magnet-guided camera to take photos from the fireplace to the tunnel down to the basement to look. They put the ash in buckets and x-rayed and sifted through it. They found bone while sifting. The forensic anthropologist was on scene. And again, no surprise, no cross.
Yeah, what can you say with that? There were a couple of really quick witnesses that came in. We had the manager of the QT where Chandler was seen on July 1st at 8:22 p.m. They showed pictures of him getting the ice, the 2 bags of ice. And then they also had video of him and an employee from Fleet Farm where Chandler bought the tarp, came in, and they have that transaction. He's on video getting the exact same tarp that they found, I believe, in that trash can with Krista and Bart's blood on it. So the next witness was
You get all the hard names.
Dr. Corey Brisaller, the deputy medical examiner. And they responded to the farm once they found Bart's torso and performed the autopsy. They show the jury the photos of Bart's torso, and there are circles in the photo showing where the femur bones were cut to dismember. On another page, they circle the gunshot wounds that are seen on Bart's torso. And in another photo, they clicked an area where the arms were severed, and they were severed at the shoulder bone, like at your shoulder, and then the base of the neck where the head was severed. Bart had 2 gunshot wounds, although there may have been a third. The entrance wound is identified by a round shape and what they call an abrasion collar. So it's like a little lip that comes up when a projectile goes into your skin. And they can tell if it's fired close or far away from the body because exit wounds are irregular. And they looked at the wound under the microscope, and they can usually see soot with the naked eye, but with decomposition, they had to look at a microscope. It's officially 2022, and now's the time to set your wellness routine into action and prioritize your health. Care of allows your vitamin routine to be personal, easy, effective, and constantly evolving. Stay on track with your health goals this new year thanks to Care of's daily vitamin packs that make organization and your resolution easy to stick to every day. Care of is a subscription service that ships high quality, personalized vitamins and powders conveniently to your door every month. In a short, in-depth quiz about your health goals and lifestyle, and get personalized, tailored recommendations based on your answers. You can stick with what Care of recommends or change up your pack at any time. Care of's products are made from good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed by the latest science and research, so you can feel good about what's going on in your body.
We want to start the year off trying to get healthier. So with Care of, we feel we can get started on the right foot this year. When you go online to take the quiz, it's 5 minutes or less. It's quick. The questions help them know what vitamins you need, tailored to what you need. You can also pick what vitamins you want to order. Their website is well designed, smooth, easy to look at, very informative. The packets that you'll receive in the mail with your vitamins are cute and in one place. I don't know about you, but I got a bunch of bottles sitting around. The vitamins recommended for us were multivitamin plus iron, vitamin C, fish oil, and a probiotic blend. With Care of, it feels like a partnership. You know your body, and Care of knows the science. With Care of, we are able to get the necessary vitamins and supplements that we need to be healthier in 2022, and so can you. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code WhatTheWorld50. Again, for 50% off your first order, go to takecareof.com and enter code What the World 50. Hey guys, it's Fruit Loop here with Pretty Lies and Alibis. This is our paid sponsor spot for HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. The new year is a great time to focus on what's important to you, whether it's saving money by ordering less takeout, learning to cook, or prioritizing your wellness. HelloFresh is here to help with endless options to make cooking at home simple and enjoyable. HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm fresh produce that arrives within a week. So you get convenience without skimping on quality. Skip the trip to the grocery store, saving you the wait in long lines and ensuring you don't waste money on excess food. HelloFresh cuts back on time spent in the kitchen so you can spend it on your other resolutions with meals ready in about 30 minutes or less. Plus, quick and easy meals, including 20-minute recipes and low prep and easy cleanup options, provide an even faster route to putting food on the table. We are so excited to receive our HelloFresh order this week. We can't wait to show you the meal we cook. So go to HelloFresh.com/WhatTheWorld16 and use code WhatTheWorld16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/WhatTheWorld16 and use code WhatTheWorld16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Now, so one of the shots, Bart was not shot at close range with one of the wounds, but another shot, he was shot at contact range with the other. Both shots were fired from back to front. So shot him in the back, and in one of those, he probably was touching him with the gun. And there's a possible third gunshot wound near the shoulder. It has the markings of it, but because the shoulder was gone, they couldn't determine for sure that there was a third gunshot. They couldn't get much forensic evidence since it was so close to where the body was dismembered also. And Bart's torso had marks from the rope that was used to drag him into the woods at the farm. I think on the solo episode I did, they found that rope in the house and found the cut end. So they're going to go and put
them match it
like a puzzle in front of this jury. Yep. Same with the duct tape. The yellow duct tape that was in the trash can attached to the tarp. They found a roll of yellow duct tape in their basement.
Yeah.
And they took close.
It all matches.
Yeah.
It will match.
Right. So due to the lack of hemorrhage at the dismemberment sites, they believe that dismemberment happened after death. And Bart's cause of death was gunshot wounds, plural, to the torso. So they do cross here.
Uh-oh.
Yep. They woke up. Hey, I'm not knocking them. Everybody deserves a defense. And they are, they have a fine line to walk here because the evidence is so overwhelming. You don't want to go in with questions that are just obvious. You know what I mean? Or you don't want to be snooty with your questions with these professionals. So I think they're playing it smart by being quiet. Really. So she said, with the 3 gunshot wounds, you can't tell which happened in which order. And they said no. You say at least 3 gunshot wounds. Why use the phrase at least? And she said, or they said, I have missing extremities, a missing head, so I can't tell if there's more. And then the defense attorney says, you say the dismemberment happened post-mortem. Are you able to say how long after death they were dismembered? And they said no. When you say manner of death is homicide, then you say shot by other or others with unknown firearms. You can't say how many people were involved. And they say no. Then the last thing the defense says, you said unknown firearms. There's nothing about your exam that can say what kind of firearm was used, and they said correct.
So the next witness is Denise Jones. She's a forensic scientist in DNA. She extracted. Did you about fall?
I about fell back, girl.
If you would have fell on the floor. She extracted DNA samples from Krista's toothbrush, the remains, and a buccal swab from Mitchell Halderson. And again, we know that's a cheek swab. Some of the remains were not able to have any DNA that could be extracted due to decomp. Blood was identified on the following items: garbage bin, tarps, scissors, a broken saw blade, handsaw, pruning shear.
Yeah.
I'm just still laughing. I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing about you about falling out your chair.
Oh, I know, right, girl? I about went back. I'd have hit my head on the table. Everybody would see me out. Just lay it here.
I'm just seeing your feet sticking up there.
It won't be the first time you see me slip and fall my feet up.
Yeah. Bust your honey.
So what they do here is they tell on those items whose DNA was on it.
Yeah. Yep. So the saw had Bart Halderson, clippers, Bart Halderson, tarp, Krista Halderson, garbage bin with a tape inside, Bart Halderson, scissors was Bart and Krista Halderson, broken saw blade was Bart.
You still laughing at me?
I know. I can't get it out of my head.
Just cover my face up.
Yeah, I can't. I still see you flipping backwards.
This is how we roll, y'all. Once we get tickled, it's like all bets are off.
It's so on.
Oh.
So blood and DNA testing results: handsaw, Bart and Krista; pruning shears, Bart and Krista; barn tarp, Bart and Krista.
Yeah, I mean, So the next witness was Detective Sabrina Sims. She's with Dane County Sheriff's Office, and they searched the pond behind the Halderson house, and they had dive teams there, but they were having difficulty because there's a lot of weeds in that. So they decided to cut the weeds out of the pond, and they initially wanted to drain the pond. But when they started doing that, it was more difficult for them to search, I guess because of the mud. They get stuck in it. So the weeds were all taken to the law enforcement center and searched by hand. And they also used cadaver dogs to smell the weeds, and that they didn't find anything. Then they show pictures of this huge landfill in Jefferson County, since blood was put in the trash can, and thought maybe they would find something there. And they searched about 20,000 cubic feet, and they didn't find anything relating to the case. They found animal bones. And you think about it, like there was a lot of medical waste. People at home have medical care. My aunt does right now. And you have to throw biohazard stuff out. That would just be so tedious. Weeks into the investigation, they saw from cell phone records that Chandler had been to an area on the Wisconsin River between 10:30 and 11 at night. They sent their dive teams out since a cadaver canine had alerted on the banks, but they had to abandon that search because the currents in that water were super dangerous, and they did not want to risk somebody's life.
Yeah.
And so, that we know that Krista's remains were found by the Wisconsin River, by it. I think that the theory, without saying it, because prosecution can't prove it, is something was drug in that area, and the water is just too bad that they couldn't search it. So I feel like maybe they feel certain something was dumped there. With the cell phone, you got a cadaver dog hitting it, and then you can't get in the water. So they never could determine a cause of death for Krista, because I believe the only thing they found of her were her legs, unless I'm missing something.
I don't remember seeing anything else.
Yeah, but yes, I mean, you have to think he did a bang up job cleaning the house on the surface. Detectives were in and out of there for a couple of days. Nothing, seemed super crazy, but it gets you, those little things that you don't think. You didn't clean that axe good enough. You didn't look at the baseboard to see if there was blood. But it seems to me like everything happened in the basement.
Yeah, I don't care how much you scrub something. I've watched enough CSIs and NCISs. You're going to still leave some blood on there.
Girl, forensic files, they will tell you if you try to clean up blood, they're going to see it. It's As soon as they went in with that luminol, that was it. Game over.
It lit up like Tiny Town.
I know.
Y'all don't know what Tiny Town is, but I'll post a picture for you.
But, the thing is, and it's kind of eerie if you look at it, because in front of the fireplace, you've got these big bright drops. So the bright drops haven't been cleaned as much or whatever. It's, the smearing you can see. And I posted these on social media, but you can see whatever. It was the heads that he threw in there. I mean, there's big drops right in front of that fireplace where he was carrying their head and putting it in there.
It's just a sick mind.
Yeah.
That one killing somebody for me is like,
I can't imagine it.
I don't comprehend it. But to kill your parents and then cut them up and go drive them all over, and I don't get it. Yeah.
And a lot of our listeners are intrigued with it. And there was a trial last year. I think his name's Joel Gray. I've actually been watching that at night when I'm chilling out, and it's kind of the same, except he had his parents in these, they were all over the house. He had their torsos in some kind of acid to melt it. And they said when they found the body of the mom or the dad and rolled it over, like the face was a skeleton.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a creepy case, and dismemberment to me just has a different evil attached to it. You know what I mean? And then you think about Tylee. I mean, we're going to be hearing this stuff with what they have to work with about her.
Yeah.
Can't imagine what that poor baby went through. I mean, anyway, so this is over for about a week at least. So I'm going to jump in. We're going to do a way back from the beginning on Harmony Montgomery. I'm going to go through these court filings. So we're going to go essentially from when Crystal was pregnant with her up to today. And that's going to be our next big episode, I think.
I think we had some people asking, why can't they just put him in a different area so he's not around anybody? Well, I think they've all been exposed to him.
Like you talking about Chandler?
Yeah. So you're looking at spreading COVID around that whole courtroom.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's masked up, but I'm sure just for safety reasons, you don't want to be responsible for anybody getting it if you can just put the trial off for a week.
Yeah. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he'd just be waiting, but apparently he has no symptoms, and they only found out because they tested every prisoner in there. They called in the National Guard to help them test. So it was just a, prison-wide test. So we are going to dive into Harmony Montgomery tomorrow and go from there. And then you're working on Delphi.
Yep.
So those are two cases that we're going to start, we do our deep dives. We're going to start deep diving into both these cases and follow them. And hopefully we find, with them not finding anything in the backyard, it gave me a little hope. But at the same time, it's been 2 years and nobody has seen her. And that never really, sometimes you get a good outcome. Yeah. But I feel like if somebody had her and sees all this coverage, they would let people know they had her. I don't know.
See, for me, I used to think that way before human trafficking got so bad. Now, you just don't know.
That's a good point.
You don't know.
I think that's the latest that the mom said was she was worried he sold her to fuel his drug habit.
Yep.
Just any way you look at it, it's not a good scenario, but the best would be that she's alive and can be found. So that's all for tonight. Are you going to the grocery store and get milk and bread?
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah.
If there's any left.
I don't know. I had to go today for just like normal, these kids eat me out of a house and home trip. And it was a madhouse.
Yeah. I think we're going to do online order and get, pull up, get it and get out of there.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you soon. Hope you have a good evening. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.